Hi guys, this is Hiro. How's everyone doing today? आज वाला केम छो? आज सब कैसे हो? So today I'm going over the topic of people pleasing. Okay, so people pleasing is something that we all might do. Okay, a lot of us do it, and a lot of us are trying to work on this part of us. But advice that you seek, either on the internet or outside the internet, it could fail, right? Why? Because there's very superficial advice presented, whether it's external superficial things or internal superficial things. At the end of the day, they're superficial. So what does that mean? There's a root energy kind of causing these people pleasing behaviors. Now, internal things and it's causing you to do external things. Now, if you try to clean some of this up at the top, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that, whatever, it could give the illusion that it could help. And indirectly over time, it could cause you to indirectly recognize the root energies inside you that are causing this people pleasing behavior and fix it. But point is, fixing these superficial things is not going to directly fix the root energy problem inside, right? What you want to do is you want to directly fix the root energy problem inside, okay? So that's kind of what we're going to focus on in this video, because if you don't, directly you could clean up some of these things at the top, but that root energy of people pleasing is kind of going to bleed out in other ways, which you don't want, right? It's not really what you're doing, it's more about how you're doing it, or the energetic base of which you're proceeding for these actions, okay? And I know you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. It's not really about doing the right thing, it's about whatever you do, kind of making it right in your own way and kind of just being confident in whatever you do, not really necessarily focusing on, oh, how is this being perceived and that kind of stuff. I know you guys kind of might know what I'm saying. So what you basically want to do is you want to accept a wide variety of, for any problem in your life, but specifically here for people pleasing, you want to accept a wide variety of things, right? Now, what are these things? I'm going to discuss in a second. So let's just say you're a people pleaser, right? You love to do things, reach out to people first. You love to boost others up, whatever. But it's out of a premise of, hey, I would like to get companionship from this person. I'd like to get a little bit more intimate energy from this person, okay? Because you feel like that's something that you lack in your life right now. So how to start? What you first want to do is you want to accept the fact that you are a people pleaser. Okay, that's the first thing, because right now, yeah, sure, rationally you recognize that there's an energetic problem, but you need to understand that you're always kind of searching for an energetic equilibrium, okay? In that process, you're never going to be perfect. So you do want to accept, hey, people pleasing happens, that's okay. Now, the other thing you want to do is you want to accept, hey, if people pleasing doesn't happen, that's also okay, because you're so used to behaving like a people pleaser. It needs some active mental programming in order to not be a people pleaser, like to be okay with not being a people pleaser, right? So you need to be okay with the people pleaser, and then you need to be not okay with being a people pleaser, okay? Now, now the other one is the result side. Okay, so this is what you're doing and this is what you're seeking. So what you're seeking is you're seeking that companionship and intimacy, respect, whatever, right? For everything you're seeking, right? And it's a little bit different from person to person. And I just kind of made up this example right now, but just apply this to your own situation. Whatever you're seeking, you want to be okay if you don't receive it, right? Because right now you're probably not receiving it, but you want to be okay with not receiving it. Because like I said, that it's not going to happen overnight, and it's always going to kind of be like an equilibrium kind of thing. So if you don't receive it, that's okay. And actually, indirectly, you're actually going to receive it more. But you can't kind of get attached to that, or else it's not going to work. But I'll continue in a second. So if you have to be okay with not receiving companionship, intimacy, whatever. Okay. Now, this is actually something that we work on, right? Staying detached, making sure, you're not getting too attached, whatever. That's fine. But eventually, you don't want to be alone and have only yourself to count on, right? So you also want to be okay with receiving these things. You need to actually actively program yourself to, hey, it's okay if I'm respected. It's okay if I receive companionship. It's okay if I receive intimacy. We're not used to these things. So we have this mental guard up. So you need to actually be okay with receiving these things. Okay, so you need to be okay with receiving it. You need to be okay with not receiving it. And you need to be okay with doing certain things or acting a certain way. And you need to be okay with not acting a certain way. Now, like I said, the things in your life or the specific energies, whether it's like respect, companionship, or whatever, or whether you're reaching out to people, complimenting people, whatever, the actions you're doing or whatever you're receiving, they could be specific from case to case. So I'm making this advice a little bit simpler, but it's simple for a reason, because in the long term, it ideally should set a stronger energetic foundation to really help you fix it. But in return, it's gonna cause a little bit more work on your end to really go deep and see what's bothering you. But if you do go within and see what's bothering you, I'm kind of giving you the tools to say, hey, when you see this kind of thing, oh, accept this. Oh, accept that. Don't accept that this doesn't happen, accept that that doesn't happen, okay? Now, I kind of gave you the base here, right? It can go a little bit deeper than that. And let me see if I can think of something. So I just said, okay, it's okay if you receive respect, or it's okay if you don't receive respect. But if there's another thing where it's like, if respect doesn't happen, that's okay. Okay? Or if not being respected doesn't happen, that's also okay. Now, you might be wondering, like, what the heck was the difference, right? Okay, so I kind of say if respect happens, that's okay. If respect doesn't happen, that's okay. Now, if not being respected doesn't happen, that's okay. So, if not being respected doesn't happen. So, logically, you might be like, oh, that's kind of just the same as one of the first two, right? But it's not, because your brain has all these different judgments and fears and things like that. This is why, in today's world, no matter what you do, you're always going to be judged, right? If you, let's just say you have a lot of friends, it's like, oh my God, that guy has so many friends. If you don't have any friends, oh my God, that guy doesn't have any friends, right? It's kind of like, I'm kind of trying to paint a picture but just, so I know that last point might not have been so clear, but it's going to be literally impossible for me to explain that within like half an hour in this video, okay? And that's even half an hour would be a stretch, but you're just gonna have to trust me, and you might just figure it out over time what I'm trying to say, okay? And I'll make a separate video on just how to accept properly later if I already haven't, but this kind of point specifically. But I guess that's kind of it for right now, okay? You want to just dig deep. And how do you dig deep, right? How do you know what's bothering you, right? Well, first of all, you could already know consciously, but to find out subconsciously, you guys know the answer. Meditation, yoga, all that kind of stuff. That's what's going to help you dig deep and see, oh, this is bothering me. Oh, man, I didn't realize that was something that was affecting my decision-making behavior or whatever, right? Then you guys know what I'm trying to say. This is not an overnight thing, so don't try to make it an overnight thing, but hopefully this video helped you a little bit more. Okay. So if you have any questions or comments, you can let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you all very, very much for watching.